The NBA playoffs are here. And listen, we're 4 days into this thing. It's already going crazy. The Magic walked into Detroit, number 1 seed. They stole the show in game 1. We go over to Madison Square Garden. The Hawks tied the series up with the Knicks. That was a crazy game. Jump out west. The Wolves tied it up with the Nuggets. Anthony Edwards, he's not going out quietly in this thing, man. It's crazy. This is going to be a special postseason, and we're going to break down every single series for you. All right, welcome back to Triangle Talk on Nelson Sports Network. We got Trenton here. We're going to get right into this thing. The NBA playoffs are already going nuts. We're a few days in. We're running a little behind here, but we're going to do a full first round preview for you guys. We're going to break down every series in this one, talk about kind of some key stats, key players in it, give you the predictions that we have, and then we'll kind of quickly go through our second round and into all the way through. But obviously we're focused on the first round right now. We're just excited to see who's going to lift that Larry O'Brien in June, man. This is going to be a fun playoffs. What have you thought so far, Trent?
So far, it's been spectacular. What's the old adjective that you always have with basketball? It's never a series until the away team wins. And what have we had right out the gate? Just storming into these places and winning. I mean, like you said, Orlando goes ahead and beats the Pistons right out the gate in Detroit. They said, give me that pizza. That's mine.
Yeah, and that was crazy. I don't think anyone expected that. Like, Detroit came into this thing, I mean, they looked like one of the top 3 teams in the entire league all year. They went in as the number 1 seed in the East, and then...
But they had been faltering the back half of the season, so it was one of those things, and then you look at the Orlando team, they're always this kid that's been promised for so long, but they keep falling short or just not showing up. Is this the Orlando Magic's time to be Magic?
It could be, and I think Paolo Banchero is finally like getting his feet under him. Yeah, this guy's a young kid. They did pretty well in the playoffs last year, but they lost out early, and I just this team's really coming around. But Detroit's a really young team too. At the end of the season, Cade Cunningham missed several games with that collapsed lung and stuff, and I just I think that's going to be a really good series. But let's save that for when we get in there. I did want to say one thing. If you guys are liking our episodes and all of our podcasts, make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit the bell so you don't miss any new episodes coming out. And I say we get right into it. What do you think?
Yeah, let's jump into it.
All right, let's start off in the East. Let's start with the number 1 seed. Obviously, the Pistons are the number 1 seed. The Magic are the 8 seed. I think this is going to be a really good series, man. Cade Cunningham, he's a stud. There's a reason this kid's up there in the MVP talks. Jalen Duran, he's come around. He's one of the most improved players this year, and he's actually up for that award this year. Tobias Harris bringing that veteran energy. Duncan Robinson, the guy they picked up at the trade deadline, gives them some outside shooting. At the end of the season, Cade Cunningham was out with injury, like we said earlier. The Pistons did go 8-3 without him, so it's not like they fell off that hard. I kind of just think
his presence was lost. You could
it absolutely
tell.
Was. Yep.
I mean, it's not like they were steamrolling everybody.
Right.
You could definitely tell it took a little bit of the leadership away from them. It took a little bit more galvanizing the team, and you almost kind of wonder if that little bit of a loss and then him coming back is costing them right now because of that. Because they got used to gelling without him, and then now he's back into the mix.
Yeah, I almost just. Personally, I think it was a fluke. I really don't think Detroit's going to get like blown out in this series or anything. I think that game was just kind of a fluke, jitters. I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. I'm trying.
I don't really know if I'd call it a fluke. It was more, you can't go into this thing and overlook your opponent. The Orlando Magic is not going to be a team that you can overlook. You have to play this opponent in front of you.
Yep.
And I feel like that's kind of what that game 1 just kind of left that taste in my mouth where, the old Mike Tyson additive. Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Well, Orlando was swinging for the fences all night and they were connected.
Oh, yeah.
And the Pistons were playing this kind of game where, all right, you're the 8 seed. We should be able to win this thing and we really don't have to turn it on until we have to turn it on. Well, you got to back that up. And it just felt like they were not backing it up all night. I expect this Pistons team to come into game 2 and handle business, and I expect them to get one and really make this thing a series in Orlando. So you have the road in front of you now. If you're a Pistons fan, this is where you got to go. Game 2, I feel like, is a must-win for you guys. If not, you're looking at an 0-2 deficit and you're going to Orlando twice.
Right.
Not fun.
You do not want to do that. I agree with you. It's a must-win. Speaking of that, this is 11 consecutive home playoff losses. That's an NBA record for the Pistons. Like that's pretty crazy. Let's not forget to mention this Orlando team. They're gutty, man. They got into this thing through the play-in. They got the 8 seed. Now they're facing the number 1.
Well, and there's a lot of talk that they made the play-in just so they could get the Pistons versus who they got.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, how this bracket plays out played in their favor or a favorable matchup is what everyone keeps talking about. So it's very interesting to see if it does play out that way. Is it only going to hype in that talk?
Yeah, it's crazy. That game 1 win, it was a 112-101 win. Road upset for Orlando. They really set the pace in this series. Like I said, Paolo Banchero, man, he looked like a man amongst children out there. He 23, 9 and 4, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Like he played really well. And then Franz Wagner, he had 19 points, but 11 of them were in the fourth quarter. So he really came alive when that mattered. What are your predictions on this one, Trent? Who do you think is going to win this, and how many games?
This one is going to be a tough series. I feel like with Orlando proving that they can beat the Pistons in Detroit, now they've given themselves that little bit of an edge, a little bit of belief that you need as a team. I believe that this series should have been a gentleman's sweep. Pistons should have swept the Magic with the gentleman's sweep, given them the 1 loss and moved about their business. With that little bit of belief, I feel like the Pistons have opened this up for a 6-7 game series.
Okay, all right. Do you think the Pistons win it though in the end, or what?
I think they're going to come alive and get this thing done, especially with a game 7. I feel like if this thing goes to a 7, Pistons fans are going to come out. Detroit loves their sports teams. They're going to come out for this. You can't lose that one. You can't lose the first round after being the number 1 seed, after going 60-22 all year long, just putting people on the floor all year. You can't do it. You have to, if you're the Detroit Pistons, you have to lock this thing up. And I feel like it puts a little bit more pressure on these players and the coaches. And I feel like just for that reason, I have to give the Detroit Pistons the edge. Orlando is coming up, and don't be surprised if they do upset this team. But I do believe the Pistons take this one in 7.
Okay, in 7. I'm going to take the Pistons in 6 on this one.
You're going to think you're going to do it in Orlando, huh?
I do. I think they kind of get them back with that in a sense. Like I said, I think that game 1 was kind of a fluke. I don't think the Pistons are a bad team by any means. I mean, you don't get a number 1 seed in the East by being a bad team, obviously. But this Orlando team is for real, man. They got some really good players over there. Banchero is a stud. Wagner's been great for them. Bringing Desmond Bane in on the trade was huge for them. So I do think they're going to get 2 games in this one, but this Pistons team is going to come alive, and I've been really high on them all year. So I've got them in 6, the Pistons. You got Pistons in 7. Let's jump over to that next one. We got the Celtics and 76ers. This one, this is going to be a series, man. The 76ers, I think they're a little overpowered here. The Celtics are really good. I think Jason Tatum coming back.
Yeah, JT's not even playing lights out ball. He's just playing assist rebound ball right now. And he's really become a huge team player for this team.
Well, he looked like I think he looked like Vincent Vintage. If I could talk tonight. I think he looked like vintage Jason Tatum in that game, man. I think that Achilles is healed. I think they waited the right amount of time. They brought him back. They got him ready before the playoffs. You know, it's hard to not play all season and then play in the playoffs. I think they did it the right way. Bring him back a little early. Let him get his legs under him. Let him get him game shape. And, man, he looked really good. He looked healthy. He looked like old Jason Tatum. And that's going to be really hard for the 76ers to get by.
Well, and like you said, I think it was definitely huge for the Celtics to do this because an Achilles, everyone says that the worst part of the Achilles injury is really coming back from it because you as a player already know what you're capable of, but now it's, do I trust my Achilles? It already snapped on me with no reasoning.
Right.
And that's just the finicky thing with the Achilles is it's just being held there, and if it goes, it goes. So now that's what he's got to do in his head is I've got to start playing and really start trusting this thing, getting a little bit more mobility, seeing where I'm at. And that's what he did. And it wasn't even hey, I'm going to be greedy and try to make all these points, and I'm just going to do what the game dictates. And I feel like with him doing that, and he's already still looking like a superstar because he's doing what the game dictates. Well, if they're going to dictate, well, we don't have to really watch you because you're Achilles and you really haven't been doing that much as points.
Yep.
Well, guess what? The ball is going to funnel itself to you, and that's exactly what happened with Jason Tatum. And then what do? You decide to go ahead and block this guy now. Now who are you going to stop? Are you going to stop White? Are you going to stop Brown? I mean, you just got a loaded Celtics team over there. You're asking for trouble, and this 76ers team is coming back from multiple rebuilds, but I just don't feel like they have anywhere near the firepower to take on this Boston Celtics team.
Well, and Jaylen Brown, I mean, he's in the running for MVP this year. I mean, he really proved that when Tatum went down, there's nothing to worry about here. You've got another star ready right there. I mean, when the Celtics won the Larry O'Brien, 2 years ago?
2 years ago. Yep.
Jaylen Brown was the MVP of the finals. I mean, it's not like this guy is like an up and coming star. Like, no, this guy's been there. He's done that. Yeah. He's a great player. I just feel like the Celtics, they're very overpowering. They're very good. They got guys that are just team players. Tatum knows when to take a step back and let Brown do his thing, and Brown knows the same. He knows when to step back. Tatum's on a roll, let him go. Derek White, I mean, Queta has been good for them. It's just a great team, man.
Well, and their bench points are crazy. I mean, it's insane watching this bench. They find ways to score, and it doesn't look pretty all the time.
Right. That game one blowout, 123-91. That's the largest margin to open a playoff win or to open the playoffs in franchise history. So, like, I mean, the Celtics got a lot of history. Let's not kid ourselves here. And to break a record like that, that's pretty impressive.
I mean, they've been here since the beginning. So to break one of their own records is a monumental feat.
Yeah, and they just look dominant. But I don't want to overlook the 76ers either, dude. This is a young, up-and-coming team. I think Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe, those two are going to be one of the scariest backcourts in the NBA come next year. I mean, Edgecombe has been absolutely just way better than I expected. I expected him to be really good. I thought he's going to be a really good player, but I didn't expect it this quick. And Maxey, dude, Maxey looks like an all NBA type player. I mean, he's so good, dude. Those two they can control the game on the offensive side, and it's really fun to watch.
I feel like they're a few years back from where the Celtics were.
I agree.
I mean, you're looking at JB and JT that finally won it 2 years ago. Got hoisted the Larry O'Brien, but you could see the stars coming up even then. You saw what was about to happen, and it's exactly what did happen. And you can feel this way as a 76ers fan is you know what's coming. It is coming for you guys. The rebuild is over. We are here. It's just not right now. You're going against the Celtics, and that's going to be a huge task.
Yep.
If you guys get past this series, it's no slouch either. I mean, you're going to have the Pistons. You're going to have other teams that you have to go in and beat, and I feel like it's only going to get worse.
Yeah. What's your prediction in this one? Okay, let me real quick say Paul George looked pretty decent too. I think Paul George might have a good series in this, but I just think it's too much for the 76ers to overcome.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Celtics are going to handle business. I think this is going to be a gentleman's sweep or go to 6 at max. And the Celtics are going to feel like they are in control of the series most of the way.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm taking the Celtics in 6 as well, but I think even the games that the Sixers do win, I think it's going to feel like, man, the Celtics were the better team. The Sixers squeezed one out here. You know, I don't see this being, I don't want to say this in a bad way because I think the 76ers are good, but I don't see this being like crazy competitive. They're going to get a game or two, but the Celtics are going to win this one in 6, I think.
Yep.
All right, next, let's jump over to what I think is the series to watch here in the East. We got the number 3 seed Knicks versus the number 6 seed Hawks. Hawks had a 46-36 record on the regular season. Knicks went in with a 53-29 record. Karl Anthony Towns, man, he's looked really good this year. He's been a good player. Brunson has been Brunson. He's really good on offense. I personally think he's kind of a liability on defense, but he makes up for it a lot with his offense. And so I think this could be a really good series. Like I said, I think it's the one to watch, dude. I also think this is the one that really could have an upset. Again, like I said, I don't see the Magic winning that series. against the Pistons. This one, I kind of think I'm taking the Hawks, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll give you my full prediction at the end, but what do you think here?
I think the Hawks can do it, but I mean, if the Hawks end up bouncing the New York Knicks, and I mean, we look at New York and it's championship or bust pretty much for them, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to have a straight revolt in the streets if you guys end up losing in the first round of the playoffs. I mean, I feel like with that kind of pressure, with this team that they've got, I feel like the Knicks are going to find some ways to make this thing happen for them. And if they don't, it's going to be we're going to be getting rid of a lot of pieces. We're going to be getting rid of managers. We're going to get rid of coaches, GMs, whatever we have to do. If it's not bolted down in the office, prepare for some moving.
Yeah. And I mean, this Atlanta Hawks team I don't want to say peaked because I don't know if they're done yet, but they kind of peaked at the right time of the season. Like since the All-Star break, they've had the third best net rating as a team. Like that's impressive. They went on a run to make this, make the playoff. And man, right now this series is tied 1-1. The Knicks won 112-102 at home. And then the next night, the Hawks beat the Knicks 107-106 in New York.
Still the win at the very end of the game.
I mean, and it's one of those it's one of those series where this one I really don't, even though it's a 3-6 series, I don't really see either of these teams being better than the other. I think the Hawks are the younger team. The Knicks are a little more experienced, but I think that youth is going to kind of benefit them in this series, man. I'll give you my prediction. I think this one's going 7. And like I said earlier, I think it's an upset alert type series. I think the Hawks win this one in 7. I really do.
I think this game will be won. This series will be won 6 games for the Knicks. If the Hawks push it to 7, they will upset them.
Okay.
Those would be my 2 predictions, but I am going to say the Knicks take care of business and they handle this thing in 6.
Okay, fair enough. That's a good prediction. I like that. The last one in the East, we got Cleveland Cavaliers and Toronto Raptors. Cleveland's 52-30 on the regular season. Toronto was 46-36. They're the 5 seed. Cleveland's the 4 seed. This really should be the closest matched series, just going by the seeding. Cleveland does have a 2-0 lead in this series already. They won game 1, 126-113. They kind of dominated in that game. And then game 2, it was 115-105. And honestly, it felt like Cleveland kind of controlled the whole game again. Like, I wouldn't say it was as dominant, but it just, the whole game kind of felt like, chalk this one up for Cleveland. I think James Harden going there at the trade deadline was huge for them. It brought in a guy who's a savvy veteran. The guy's been around the block. He's been on a lot of teams. He's kind of got a bad reputation in the playoffs. It kind of fallen off, so we'll see how that goes. But I think it's what they needed. They needed a veteran guy there that
they had a really explosive team last year. I mean, a team that kept clawing back and getting places that they didn't belong. So you get that little bit of mentorship and onus on the court where it really helps you guys drive forward with the vision. Here's what we're going to do. And he's been to a finals. I mean, you can say whatever you want, but he at least has that pedigree of, I know what getting to a finals feels like and what it's about. So I think it's really good, especially when you're dealing with a really young nucleus that is the Cavaliers. I mean, you're talking about these guys who are really starting to thrive and get there, but you also have to have that mentorship of Harden coming in and going, hey, we can't be being boneheads at the wrong time in the playoffs because it will cost us. And we saw that last year against the Pacers. So you gotta make sure you're bringing your A game. And I mean, this is going to be a really interesting series, especially with Game 3 coming up. Cavs take care of business at home, kind of to be expected most of the time. Like we talked earlier, it's never really a series until the away team wins. And until that happens, it's going to be hard to say because now you got a Cleveland team that's got to go to Toronto twice and play in Toronto. Let's see what this jive is. If Cleveland ends up taking a game over there, this thing is curtain call. Get ready.
Right. And that's kind of what I was going to say. Like, this Toronto team, they're young, they're talented, man, but they're right now it looks like they're kind of struggling to find any answers against Cleveland. Like, they have to win 3 and 4. I think they have to win these 2 at home. If they don't, I think the series is over. I agree with you. Well, obviously it'll be a sweep, but I just don't see how if you don't walk out of there with both of those wins, I mean, obviously, again, it would be a sweep then, but you've got to come ready to play. You've got the home.
Even if you only win one of those games, this thing is going to be done. You're going to go back to Believeland, and they're going to finish you off in front of their home crowd.
Yep.
You don't really have a chance. I mean, if you can push this thing, then it's a lot easier to win a game 5 or a game 7 in Cleveland versus, all right, well, we lost game 3 or 4 and we have to win 5 and 7.
Exactly. And that's what worries me about this one, is they really put themselves kind of in a corner here. I'm going to take Cleveland in 5 on this one. I think it's a gentleman's sweep. I think Toronto's going to get one of these at home. I think it's going to be game 3 personally, but I just don't see Toronto really putting up much of a fight against Cleveland. I think they're going to kind of handle them here.
Well, I agree with you. I think this one's going to go 5. I'm going to agree with you down the board. I feel like game 3 is going to be owned by the Toronto Raptors, especially because of their youth. They're going to travel a little bit better for this travel day and going over to Toronto and just being ready.
Yeah.
But game 4, Cleveland's going to go in, beat them up, finish strong in Cleveland, and get ready for the next round.
Yeah. Let's now that we're done with the East, let's jump over here to the West. Got some really good matchups in the West. Let's start at the
better
top.
Team, some would argue.
Yeah, exactly. Let's start at the top with the Thunder. The number 1 seed, 64-18 on the regular season. Shai's looking like he might win the MVP back-to-back now. We'll get into that in another episode, but it's kind of looking like he's the one that's kind of favored right now to win it. Suns are the 8th seed. They got here via the play-in, obviously. This Suns team in game 1 really looked overmatched. It was 119-84 in game 1. That's a 35-point difference, man. That's hard. I mean, this Thunder team is so deep, and they're hungry right now. Like, they want to prove that last year wasn't a fluke. They want to prove that this team, this young team, this core that they have is here to stay. Like, I really think they're really pushing right now to repeat. And I think
they really didn't lose anybody. They have the same talent.
Right.
They have the same coaching. They are here to stay, and that's just exactly what they're going to prove. They don't have any injury, so barring injuries, it would be a Celtic situation. We are here to stay unless something should happen to our team.
Yeah. And then the craziest part is, like I said, they're looking to repeat. They won it last year. This team really has dynasty potential. They've got crazy depth. Elite defense, crazy depth. They've got a championship pedigree now because they've won one now. They've been there. They've done that. And they've got so many draft picks in the future that this team, they're really set up to be the next dynasty of the NBA. And I could see it happening, man. I think Shai is an absolute, just an absolute baller. The guy's crazy good. The whole team. I don't even know how to get into it. I don't want to skip over the Suns here. Let's talk about them. They beat the Warriors to get this final spot. They knocked out kind of the old guard, They earned the spot through the play-in. They looked totally outclassed in game 1, but they've got a lot of good young talent. This team they're trying to build something there. Booker's a stud.
You're looking at a really good young team, a really fun, exciting team. But it's going to be clear that they're punching above their weight class.
Exactly.
You're getting in the ring with a juggernaut with a full suit, and you're going in there with just bare knuckles. You're about to get beat, and it's not going to look pretty.
Right. And my biggest thing is, I think if they had someone to defend Shai a little better, they might have a better chance in this series. But I just don't know who you put up against him to stop him. Like, I really don't see it.
Well, if they'd had that last year, the Indiana Pacers would have won the whole thing. I mean, Shai's MVP for a reason. Reigning MVP right now. He's finals champion for a reason because he's just so dominant and so hard to play against.
Right.
And good luck stopping him. I mean, even when you find ways to stop him, he finds ways to get fouls. He finds ways to drive and get offense. And he's just one of them players. How do you stop him?
Yeah. What's your prediction on this one? This is a 1 versus 8. So, what do you think? Who's going to win this one and how many games?
Well, I feel like, right before thunder, there's always a little lightning. And I feel like lightning's going to strike and destroy the Suns. I don't feel like this thing is going to be close. This is going to be a straight up sweep. They're not even going to be gentlemen about it. They're just going to take their pants down and spank them in front of everybody.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I think the Suns get one game. I think it'll be a gentleman's sweep. But it's going to be kind of like we were talking a little bit ago. Even the game that the Suns are going to end up winning, in my prediction, I still think it's going to be like, yeah, the Thunder were the better team. They happen to lose one here. I definitely see the Thunder rolling through here pretty easy.
The Thunder rolls?
Yeah. Next, let's jump over to that number 2, number 7 series. We got the Spurs at number 2, Trailblazers at 7. This Trailblazers team, dude, they're scrappy. They got some good players over there. Victor Wembanyama, though, I don't know how you stop that guy.
Defensive player of the year, man. Yeah. I mean, already been crowned.
Unanimous.
So. Yep.
I believe it's the first ever unanimous. That's crazy. And then he goes out and in his first playoff game, he has a historic debut. 35 points in his playoff debut. That breaks Tim Duncan's record for the franchise.
I was gonna say the franchise record broke. That's Tim Duncan.
You're talking about like the greatest power forward ever, arguably.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about championship caliber team. Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, Kawhi Leonard. You're talking about the guard, the San Antonio guard.
Yeah,
and you're going out there and outshining. You're shining as bright as you can right now as a young kid. So I feel like this Wemby kid is going to be something to watch for years to come.
Oh, yeah.
He is going to be exciting. He is definitely going to bring a very good vibe to San Antonio that we haven't had for a minute.
Yeah, I think he's definitely, if this guy stays healthy, man, he could go down as one of the greatest players we've ever seen. He's got all the tools. He's huge. I mean, the guy is he's just a freak of nature. Like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. But he also, another historic debut. He's the only player in NBA history to have 35 points and 5 or more 3-point shots made in his playoff debut. So this guy's huge. You expect him to be down on the block, but no, man, he can play outside. He's just crazy good. And the supporting cast, man, this feels like the old Spurs where the whole team just top to bottom is just really, really good. They play off each other really well. I mean, De'Aaron Fox had 17 points and 8 assists. Stephon Castle had 17, 7, and 7. Spurs won game 1, 111-98. They're the number 2 seed. But like I said, this Trailblazers team, man, they're scrappy. They got some really, really good players. I think Denny Avdia is awesome, man. I think he's a really good player. I think Scoot Henderson's got a lot of potential. They got something over there. They got some older guys too, like Drew Holiday and stuff. This team could give them a fight. I really do think they could give them a fight, but I don't see them winning this series by any means. I really don't see that. But I think they're really going to make the Spurs earn this one. I think they're scrappy enough to kind of push them around and be like, hey, we're not going out easy. My prediction here, I'm going Spurs in 5. I know I just said they're going to make them work for it. I think these games are going to be really good games down to, the last couple minutes of the game before, it's going to be a really good series. But I see the Spurs winning this one in 5. How about you?
I think that the Trailblazers are going to make this one a good scrap fest. I don't think that they're going to push this thing anywhere close to a game 7, but I do believe that they're going to find a way to steal 2 games from the Spurs. I feel like this is going to be a 6-game series. I feel like you're going to have a game that the Trailblazers deserve to win, rightfully so, and then you're going to have one that the Spurs kind of just let fall through their fingers.
Okay.
And so it's going to be, the Trailblazers made them fight for it, but it was also, we had you and we let you off the hook.
Yeah.
And I feel like if that happens, then it's going to be guns blazing. We're ready to go to the next round for the Spurs because they're going to realize the mistake of, we had you, we should have handled business. We didn't. Now we got to play an extra game. That's more wear and tear on our guys. It's more wear and tear on us. And we should already be done with the series.
Yeah. All right. That's fair. Jump over to the 3 versus 6 series here. We got the Denver Nuggets at number 3 in the West, and we got the Timberwolves at number 6.
I think this one's going to be the funnest one of the playoffs.
I agree with you. this has kind of become a rivalry, here in the last couple of years in the Western playoffs. These Nuggets and Timberwolves series, they're fun to watch, man. Anthony Edwards is an absolute, dude. The guy is just, he reminds me a lot of Michael Jordan, the way he plays. Obviously he's not Jordan. I understand that, and I'm not saying that, but just the way he plays, his kind of attitude, the mentality he has, like,
his mannerisms. I mean, he models his game off. It's like Kobe. You wouldn't say Kobe was Michael Jordan, but you would say he definitely modeled his game. He reminded you a lot of the man. So
exactly.
That is exactly how he's modeled himself from his playing days, is model it after Kobe, model it after Jordan, model it after the greats. And it's really coming through just watching the way this guy plays.
Yeah.
He's got good potential in him, and it's going to be exciting to watch his career.
Oh, absolutely. I really think this is the series to watch in the entire first round. This one's I think it's going to go 7. I'll just say right now, I think the Nuggets win this one in 7. But I think every one of these games is going to be a knockout, drag out. Just, it's going to be hard played, physical. These teams are really good. The Nuggets have been here. They've done it. They've won a finals with this kind of core that they have here. The Timberwolves haven't yet, but they're looking to, and I think they're really going to give Denver a run for their money. Nikola Jokic, though, dude, we're looking at one of the greatest players of all time here, especially greatest offensive players of all time. The guy is a triple-double machine. I mean, he's a walking triple-double. I don't understand it. He doesn't look like he belongs out there, but he's the best player on the court every time he's on the court.
Not to mention, half the time you're sitting there watching, even at home. I've not seen the guy play live, but I can imagine some of these shots that you watch him make from the house, sitting on the couch, and you're like, why did he try to lob the ball? Oh my gosh, it went in the net. Holy crap. Oh, never mind. I guess I'll shut up over here. And you're just like,
me from my couch telling him, oh, why would you take that shot?
That's a horrible shot. Everybody knows that's a low percent. Oh, it went in. Never mind. I'll mind my own business. And I mean, Murray over there, you guys have a really good team. Like this is a solid Nuggets team. This, for you being a Nuggets fan, I mean, it feels like the only crutch you have is coaching.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's kind of what I thought in game 2 was coaching kind of hurt us. The other thing that really hurt us was Rudy Gobert playing defense, man. He came and showed up. If Gobert plays that way, if he continues to play that way, the Timberwolves are going to win this series. Now, like I said, I'm predicting Denver in 7, but if Gobert plays that way the rest of the series, we're done.
I feel like the Timberwolves only win this series if they can handle it in 6.
Okay.
If they go back to Mile High for a game 7, it's already hard enough to beat this Nuggets team, plus the fans.
Right.
Yeah. You're talking about New York would have been bedlam. This will be crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about Nuggets fans that know what we're capable of. We know we can handle this team. We should handle this team.
Right.
And on top of it, the players know that too. Like, they should be able to handle this business.
Well, I definitely think we got to keep an eye on Anthony Edwards' knee. It was obviously bothering him in game 2. I don't know what's going on there yet. I haven't heard a whole lot on it yet, but the Nuggets ended up winning game 1, 116-105. Pretty comfortable win at home. You expect that. And then game 2, they lost 114-119. The Timberwolves came in, they showed up, man. And like I said, even with Edwards' knee hurting and bothering him, Gobert balled out against Jokic. He shut him down. Jokic did not have a good offensive night. Now, he had a great night, rebounding and assisting and stuff, but just scoring the ball, he didn't play real well. And it's because of the pressure that Gobert was putting on him. So if this team keeps playing like this around Anthony Edwards, like I said, the Timberwolves will win this series, but my prediction is the Nuggets in 7. What are you taking for final prediction?
I agree with you. I feel like this one's actually going to be Nuggets in 6.
Okay.
I feel like they're going to find a way to take this thing back from Minnesota, and I feel like they're going to take 2 games from them. I feel like it's going to be kind of one of those, all right, we just got slapped in the face for game 2. We're going to take 3 from you. We'll win at home, and then we'll take this thing in Minnesota.
Okay. Next one, we'll jump over to the last series here. We got the number 4 Lakers versus the number 5 Houston Rockets.
Lakers cannot catch a break, dude.
I know.
It seems like crazy. You get excited for them for playoff runs. and then boom, top talent falls out. Just injury. I mean, this series should be easily Lakers, in my opinion. I don't know what your thoughts are, but with Luka being out, this thing swaps, and it is now the Rockets series to lose.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. Like, Luka Doncic is out and Austin Reeves is out. So, and they're saying they could miss, potentially the entire series here. I don't know anything past that right now, but man, if they're missing this whole series, this is going to be really hard for LA. I mean, LeBron can only do so much. He's 41 years old. Like he needs those guys there. He is still elite, but I just don't feel like he can carry a team anymore like he was able to, several years ago. They earned the 4th seed through a, strong regular season. They were fairly healthy throughout the season, so that, that's part of the reason why. But those injury concerns, man, it really makes me really question what they're going to be able to do here. Now, Kevin Durant missing game 1
really helped the Lakers.
Kind of evens the series out now, right? Like, the Lakers won game 1, 107-98, but that's because KD was out. It sounds like he might play game 2. If he does, I think that kind of reverses everything back to the Houston Rockets.
Well, and it's almost like, I feel like, was he really that injured, or is it one of those, hey, we'll just concede game 1, I'm going to take a rest day? I'm not trying to say load management or nothing, but I'm just kind of hinting at it, like, was it really as injured as they said it was, or was it one of those, hey, I'm just going to miss one game and then we're going to handle business against the Lakers?
Honestly, for KD to miss a playoff game, I think that injury is really bothering him. I don't think he would have not played in this game if he was able to go. I really don't. KD wants this, dude. He wants to. I think KD really wants to prove that he can win one without having to go to Golden State. You know what I mean? Like, he's never been able to do that, and I just don't see a world where he would sit if he was really able to go. I think it's really bothering him. And that worries me about game 2. Is he going to play or not? Like I said, if he plays and he comes back, I think the Rockets take this series. I really do. They're a physical, kind of grind you down team, dude. I really feel like they're built for the playoffs. Thomas is a stud, or Thompson. He's a stud, dude. He's a great defensive player, and this team, they got a lot of talent. KD's a great player still. I mean, he's still playing at an elite level as well. So if he plays game 2, I think it changes everything back over. I'm going to take the Rockets in 6 in this series. Like I said, that all depends on if KD plays, and I'm predicting he will play, but I'm taking the Rockets in 6 on this one.
I agree with you. I feel like KD is going to play. He's going to find a way to play. I'm not 100% sold on this thing was a super bad injury. I feel like it was one of those we could lose a game and I can take a little bit of more rest time so I can stop the swelling and get better faster, is kind of where I feel like it kind of boils down to. I do agree with you that KD is out to prove the fact that, all right, yeah, I got my rings, but we all know that those are fraud rings. You guys didn't need me on those teams for the Golden State Warriors, and I'm here to prove that I can do it with myself and some more support, but not with 3 superstars, 4 superstars to lock down a win. I feel like with that driving factor, KD will find a way to get into the playoffs, get at least some game time in. I feel like when he's in, it's going to flop it. I don't feel like LeBron James has the gusto that he used to have when he was on the Cavaliers, when he was with the Heat, where he could just, all right, we're going to beat you just because I'm here and I'm going to score as many points as I can and handle business. And without Austin Reeves, without Luka, who are really your pieces that he can facilitate to as well to get the points to go? I mean, you're talking about even when he was on the Cavs, he had Love. He had other guys that he could, okay, I need you to get me out of a pickle right now. I don't have any of that. I have myself and some solid talent, don't get me wrong, but you don't have your number 2. You don't have the guy in the wings that you know is going to be your Ray Allen, who's going to be your Kyrie Irving, who's going to be there when I need you to make a 3-point shot for me. I can just dump it to the corner and you got me.
Yep, exactly. And I just think it's going to be too much. I got the Rockets there. What about you?
I got Rockets in 6.
Okay. So now that we're through the first round, let's kind of go through here and see who we got going. I mean, we'll jump back over to the East. I took the Pistons. I think the Pistons are going to end up playing the Cavaliers in the second round, and I think the Pistons are going to win that series. I'd say it's probably going to be a 6 or 7 game series, but I think the Pistons win that one. Who are you taking there? You took the Pistons and the Cavs as well?
Yep. Yes, I took the Pistons and Cavs. I think the Pistons are going to find a way to get past the Cavaliers.
Okay.
I feel like this one's going to I feel like that game is going to be kind of, are we picking total number of games? If we are, then it's going to be, I think the Pistons will get past the Cavs in 6 games. If it goes to a game 7, though, I mean, I know I've said it multiple times and you guys can think whatever you want, but honestly, when you are that away team and you force a game 7, all bets are off. It is a straight slugfest, and I feel like it gives the advantage to the away team because they already know the environment they're going into. We've come in here 3 times already, and we forced a game 7. It's ours to lose now.
Yeah,
and that's why I feel like you don't want that with this Cavaliers team. If they can get there, especially with that young team with Harden's mentorship, and you guys are going to go at it, make sure you handle this in 6.
Yeah, no, I've got the Pistons in 6 as well. We'll jump back down here. I took the Hawks over the Knicks. You took the Knicks, correct?
Yes.
So I've got the Hawks playing the Celtics. I'm going to take the Celtics there. I'm going to take it in 6, though. I think the Hawks give them a good run for their money. I think it's a really good series, but I think the Celtics put them away in 6. What do you got there with Knicks and Celtics?
I feel like either way this goes, even if it was I picked the Knicks, even if it was the Hawks, shoe on the other foot, I feel like this thing is done in 6.
Yeah.
I feel like the Celtics will handle business. They belong in the finals, and they're going to find a way to get to the conference finals.
Yeah. So I'll just say this. At the beginning of the year, I had the Pistons going to the finals. I've got the Pistons versus the Celtics here. I'm going to take the Celtics, though. I'm going to take them in 6. I think the Celtics team with Tatum being healthy, he's just he adds too much to that team for anyone to stop in the East right now. So Pistons, Celtics in the East Conference Finals. I've got the Celtics moving on in 6. What do you got? You got the same matchup. So
yeah, I've got the same matchup. So I feel like this thing is going to go to at least a game 7. I feel like Pistons are going to force a way to make this thing go to 7, but the Celtics are going to be too much. Celtics have been there. They've done that. They know how to handle business, and they will do that.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Celtics team is really good, especially at full strength. It's just a very overpowering team. So let's jump over to the West.
Well, and I mean, like even your pick at the beginning of the season, the Pistons. Who would have thought Tatum's coming back and being this healthy? I mean, I don't think anybody had that on their bingo card to start this year. It was, all right, well, Tatum's going to be out because an Achilles is going to take him all year long to heal from.
Exactly.
Is the Celtics team really going to be that good? They're probably going to make the playoffs because the East is a little weaker, but
but I thought it would be like a 4th or 5th seed. You know, a really really tough road through. Like
instead, they're a number 2 seed, and they look unstoppable because Tatum is back, and he is only going to get better. He's not getting any worse. He's trusting that Achilles more, and he is playing fundamentally sound ball. You got White going off. You got Brown. It's going to be a tough matchup for those Pistons to even get this thing close to 7, and that's going to be a huge monumental task for them. And I feel like they're going to find a way to do it. They're just going to fall short.
Yep, I agree. Jumping over to the West, we got Thunder and Suns. We both took the Thunder there. Lakers, Rockets. We both took the Rockets there, right? Or did you take the Lakers?
I took Rockets.
Okay. So we both.
If KD comes back, it's Rockets all the way.
Yep. So what do you got? Thunder versus Rockets.
It's not going to be a pretty. I feel like it's going to be a 5-game gentleman sweep again. I feel like the Thunder are going to handle business and prove that they're the champs for a reason.
Yep, I completely agree. I'm taking the Thunder in 5 there. Another gentleman's sweep. I think this Thunder team is just way too good. I took the Nuggets in the over the Timberwolves. You as well, correct?
Yep. And
then the Spurs obviously over the Trailblazers. We both took that. So we got Spurs Nuggets here. What are you taking there? This is a really interesting matchup, man. This one might be really interesting.
This one's a coin toss for me. I mean, honest to death, this one's a game 7, and it's going to come down to whoever has the ball last.
I agree.
I feel like if it gets to this, the youth is going to hurt the Spurs, and that's why I'm going to have to give this to the Nuggets.
Okay. I'm a Nuggets fan, and I really want to take the Nuggets here. But if Victor stays healthy through these playoffs, man, I think I'm going to have to take the Spurs in this one. A game 7, though. I think this is going to be a really tough fought matchup. I just think he gives the Spurs a little edge here, and I'm going to take the Spurs over the Nuggets. So you've got the Nuggets versus the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals. I've got the Spurs versus the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals. I'll start there. I'm taking the Thunder in 6 against the Spurs. I think the Thunder, I don't know how Chet and Victor are going to match up. I think it's going to be really fun to watch, but I just think this Thunder team is way, way, way too overpowering. I think they're going to give them a good run for their money. It'll be a 6-game series, not a 7 though. But I think the Thunder are going to win that series. What about you? You got Nuggets and Thunder.
It really doesn't matter who goes against the Thunder. The Thunder are gonna get what's theirs. They're gonna go back to the finals.
Yeah.
I do agree with your pick. If it was the Spurs that ended up going, I feel like it's gonna go 6. I feel like with the Nuggets, they're gonna force a game 7 though. They have that little bit of edge, that little bit of Denver has an unwillingness to die in the playoffs. It just feels like every time they get in there, they find a way just to be gritty, to be stubborn, to be really hard to move out of the way. And I feel like it's going to probably benefit the Thunder in the finals having to face an opponent like that. And I think it's going to take game 7, but Thunder are going to handle the business.
Okay. I agree with you. This Denver team, they've been there, they've done it. So, I mean, they've got that kind of pedigree to them. I'm just really iffy on the coaching with them. I don't know what to think there. That's why I'm taking the Spurs here, but I agree with you though. I just don't see anyone getting through the Thunder. So we've both got Thunder versus Boston in the final. What are you doing there? This is a great matchup. Like this,
I mean, somebody's story is getting told, right? Either the dynasty that is the Celtics is finally back on par, or the Thunder dynasty is here. I honestly, truly believe that the Thunder are going to be the team that they should have been back when they had Durant, when they had Harden, when they had Russell Westbrook. They were supposed to be this team, and they are them now, and this is going to be the dynasty starter.
Okay.
And there's no better way to start it than we're going to take out the champ that was here before us and prove it to everybody that we don't care who we're playing. From the East, from the West, we handle business. I feel like the Thunder are going to handle the Celtics in 6.
Okay. In 6. Okay.
I don't think it goes to a 7. I mean, it could very well, but I just think they're going to handle it in 6.
Okay. I think this goes to 7. I think this is going to be a really tough fought, just like some of these other series we've been talking about. But I'm going to agree with you. I think the Thunder start their dynasty. This Thunder team is so good. They're so deep. They're still young, and they're already doing this. Like, I think it's going to be a game 7. Thunder win it, and the dynasty begins. And like you said, they're kind of taking down an old dynasty to start the new dynasty, because the Celtics, let's not kid ourselves, they're the greatest historical basketball team of all time. They got more championships than anyone. They've got, more greatest players of all time.
They know what the Larry O feels like more than any other team.
Exactly.
And I mean, everyone's going to say, well, the Thunder didn't have to worry about the Celtics being at full power last year. Tatum got hurt and kind of the asterisk. I feel like this is more or less the Thunder's chance to say it wasn't a fluke. It wasn't an asterisk. Right. You guys just weren't there to beat last year. Now we're here to beat you and show you that it wasn't a fluke.
Exactly. And then that's kind of my thought. Like, I just think this Thunder team, man, they're so good. They're so fun to watch. They're just
SGA,
great,
dude,
man.
He's a phenomenal player. If you get the chance, you got to watch this kid play. He is a phenomenal superstar. Chet Holmgren, I mean, he's awesome. These guys are really fun to watch play and win. And OKC, you got a winner now. Time to be excited.
Yeah, no kidding. Any final thoughts, Trenton, you want to throw in here before we shut this one down?
I really don't think I have too much else to say on this. I think it's going to be a really phenomenal, fun playoffs to watch. Basketball is always funner to watch when it comes to the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
I think when teams get hot after the All-Star break, they are definitely worth watching because we've seen it in other sports. We've seen it in basketball. If you get hot at the right time, which is usually that All-Star break,
yeah,
you can make mountains move just by being hot and moving. So all because we've picked them doesn't mean it's set in stone.
Right.
There's teams that are going to make some upsets. There's teams that are going to do things that you don't think they should. And make sure if you love basketball, if you not sure of it, you're watching this time of year because this is where you're going to get the best, and especially watching the finals. The finals is the best of the best, the cream of the crop. Make sure you're actually dialed into this and don't miss the chance and the opportunity to enjoy it.
Right, exactly. Really no final thoughts from me. I think we went over a pretty good amount of stuff here. So obviously as these series wrap up and we know who's moving on, we'll do another episode and give our second round picks and stuff like that. But like we always say, guys, if you guys are enjoying this stuff, it helps us out a lot. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave us a comment who you guys think is going to win. Give us your East champion, your West champion, and then your NBA Finals champion.
Tell us why we're wrong.
Exactly. Let us know where we're wrong, where you disagree. Other than that, thanks for watching, guys. Come back for the next one.
Peace.